Hello and welcome to a quick tutorial video on Roundtable TV. My name is John Yelton and we'll be doing a quick series on how to create an inventory spreadsheet. Now I recommend this for a dealer that's just starting out, needs a way to keep up with their coins, but also the dealer that's been doing this a while. Maybe you've just been using a written ledger. Whatever the case may be, we're happy to have you along and hopefully we'll all learn something along the way. So these are the 5 coins that I'll be putting into a spreadsheet today. These 5 are actual coins that I have purchased recently, and I've picked them because of the wide variety that we'll actually be dealing with here. We've got graded, ungraded, we've got actual circulating coins, and then exonumia, the so-called dollar here, and we'll go over how to put each of those into our spreadsheet right now. All right, so let's dive right in. This is Microsoft Excel. I've already got some of the information input here for us to make it easier and faster. I've got all of the different headers for our categories on the table, as well as some of the more pertinent information that I already have for our coins. I just want to do a brief overview today to show you the table. I recommend you start with this. If you want to add or remove columns, and that's fine. We're going to be getting into some formulas, some hyperlinks to websites and other photos that will help us in future videos. But today, just kind of the bare bones, giving you an idea if you're not that familiar with Excel, how you can use it. So I have the table here, each of these columns. And again, I said if you want to add or remove any of these columns, you can. Let me show you how to do that. If you right-click on the column after where you want to insert one, then go down to Insert, select it, and it will put in a new column for you right there. Let's say you want to keep up with the purchase date of your coin. That's fine. You can do that right here by inputting that information. If there's a column that you don't need, I don't necessarily keep up with the purchase date, then you can right-click on that column you want to delete, go down to Delete, and boom, it's gone. You don't have to ever see it again. If for any reason you make a mistake and need to go back, we have our undos and our redos up here. But those are some basics for you to get you started in Excel. Each of these columns mean a specific thing about each specific coin. I'm going to show you how I come up with an inventory number. So the very basic way is, of course, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that will differentiate each of these from one another by an inventory number just ticking up each and every time. That is an aspect of my inventory number, but it's a little bit more than that. We have a Morgan 1881S here and a Lincoln 1943S below that, but we don't necessarily have the denomination input anywhere. We don't know that it is $1 and a cent. If we want to quickly have a reference to that, then I always use a 4-digit inventory number. The first number is the ticker up number that just goes up by 1 each and every time. The last 3 is the denomination. So for $1, it's 100. For the cents, it's going to be a 001, and we'll see that for the ones below. And now we have our exonumia here, whether that's a so-called dollar, a token, a medal, something that doesn't necessarily have a denomination to it. If you have a commemorative, then I recommend you still put in the denomination, but that's up to you. For this exonumia, I just use a 000, and that lets me know that this is a non-denomination coin, and I can still quickly organize those by non-denomination rather than having to figure out where they fit into all these others. That's just me. Final note on inventory number, if you have a lot of coins, let's say we want to sell a roll of pennies, whatever that is, I simply just put in lot and then a number, and that will just tick up each and every time. Lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. It'll help me keep up with the groupings of coins that I'm selling all at one time or have purchased all at one time. Go ahead and knock that out. The next column we have is our design. It's a simple 1 or 2 word listing for the design of the coin. Use whatever the going verbiage is at the time. Now, you know, you have Morgans, your Lincolns, Mercuries, your Franklins, whatever it is, you can just put that in there for a quick reference so I know whether this is a Morgan or a peace dollar. It's easy to keep up with. The description can be anything from the date to the mint mark to any descriptive kind of titleistic aspects of the coin. So if it's toned, I don't necessarily put it in here, but the 1909 VDB means, of course, that it is signed by Victor David Brenner, the designer, on the back bottom of the reverse. and it's important to differentiate that from the one that doesn't have that signature. The certification number is if we have it. Of course, we have 3 PCGS slabs here. Maybe you have an NGC or 2 raw coins like I do. I just put not applicable or not available, whatever you like. The grade of the coin shows the grade that is on the slab, or if it is a raw coin, I'll put in my opinion. Of course, the so-called dollar here is lightly clean, so I just label it as a detail. So that's perfectly appropriate to do at this point. In column F, we show the purchase price. So this is what I paid for the coin. It's kind of a starting point for how I'm going to decide what I need to sell the coin for, and hopefully we're able to meet those margins. The next column is grading CAC fees. That is if you're sending it in for that CAC sticker. Of course, you want to add that fee to the total cost of the coin because that's what you have invested in that coin, and you want that to all come together for what you need to at least sell the coin for at the bare minimum. If you crack it out rather and send it in for grading again, or if you have a raw coin that you send in for grading, then you definitely want to input whatever that money amount is that you sent in the coin for. And of course, that will add to the total cost as well. The total cost I'm leaving blank for now. We're going to input a formula that will do all that math for us, but basically the fees plus the purchase price are going to give us that total cost. The 12% margin, that's a margin percentage that I have for myself to make a healthy profit while covering some overhead fees. Maybe you've got a brick and mortar store and you need a higher percentage on your margin. Maybe you just do this casually, or you're a more savvy dealer than I and can get away with a smaller percentage. Whatever works for you. We're going to be using a couple of formulas here again to help us kind of get these numbers automatically. So whenever I do put in that 12%, if you need to change it up or down, feel free to do that on your own. Whatever number works for you, works for me. The next column is the including fees, and this column is simply for those of us that are selling on eBay. This is going to cover that final listing fee that comes with eBay and the PayPal fees on top of that. I believe right now PayPal is doing 2.9% plus 30 cents automatically for each transaction, whereas you're going to have about 10% unless you're selling a crazy amount on eBay, a 10% final listing fee. We're going to have a simple formula here as well in a future video. Okay, the value of your coin. That is whatever arbitrary number you come up with for the value. Now, I'm not saying you don't know your coins, but if you're using whatever reference material, whether it's the gray sheet, whether it is the past auctions that are on eBay or PCGS or Heritage, Stack & Bauer, wherever the case may be, those are coins that sold. Those are not the coins you have. So whether or not you can sell it for that price is to be seen, but it gives you a good starting point if you feel like you got a great deal on a coin and you can make a little bit more than that 12% margin on it. Additional notes, this is where I would put toning in or any kind of cleaning or damage or something that I want to know about this coin, so when I list it, I can be as honest as possible. And the last 3 columns that I have are for actually after we've sold the coin. The date that we sold the coin, the sell price of that coin, and the profit that we made off of it. And in the profit, we're going to input a formula in another video that will show us how to subtract the sell price from the purchase price to find out if we made any money at all on this coin. So that's a basic overview of the spreadsheet that we're going to be using. Again, future videos are going to kind of get in depth on how to automate a lot of this information, so I hope you stick around. But we here at Roundtable TV super appreciate any feedback or suggestions that you have. And if you have an idea for something else to put in a future video on these spreadsheets, or even just a future video in general, feel free to let us know. We hope that you have gained some sort of knowledge from this, but regardless, I hope that this has been enjoyable for you as it has been for me. And until next time, happy collecting, my friend.